Well, hey folks, welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Let's take a look around, have a bit of a garden tour, and see how the garden is doing as everything starts to wake up for the spring. Come along, we'll plant some plants and talk gardening. You gonna be quality control today? All right, let's go. All right, here's the beds as they appear. Now, this garden it's got a lot of gaps in it. Gaps from where we've already harvested, gaps from where we had a big freeze this past winter that killed off a lot of stuff. Turnips are doing good. I need to thin them. Got some stunted seedlings there because it was unusually cold. My seedlings kind of stalled out under the lights. They're out here now and recovering. Gonna harvest that cauliflower and take that plant out, free up some space. Radishes are coming in. These are the radishes that my son and I planted to fill in some space. There were carrots all in here, but the freeze knocked the carrots back. But the carrots are getting bulky now, and you can come out and harvest. So I gotta have carrots. Sam, my son, my young son, has been clearing out these blocks for me and making a little bit of money that way. Got some tomatoes, doing fine. They love this warm weather. Yeah, gotta have some potted tomatoes. Over here, the herbs that we planted on a video are doing great. They're thriving well. And yeah, look at that dill, man. The dill's getting big. The sage is doing all right. Everything's taken off. They love this soil. I have a peanut right there. That's a peanut that was in my compost pile at one point. Man, I've had peanuts coming up for years now. I think they came from Five Guys. I put some onions in here in a video that will be coming out later this week. You'll see that. We saved some onions and relocated them. Parsley's doing awesome. I got some new plants. They're starting to show some green, and they've only been in this for a couple of days. You'll see this video too and find out what these new wonderful plants are. Yeah, they're doing fine. Barbados cherry, looking good, looking healthy. I don't see any fruit. Haven't seen any fruit on that yet, but it's only been here a year. Yeah, everything's looking great. The Mexican sunflower starting to put on new growth along the shoots. And yeah, this is going to be stock that I will take and take these stalks here, these stalks, cut them and shove them in the ground somewhere where I can get actual a stand of these sunflowers. This is chop and drop. This is one of the best green manures you can put in your garden. Tithonia diversifolia, not rotundifolia, diversifolia. And they start readily from cuttings. You can see the original cutting down there that I got on Etsy from Daisy the Good. If you want this, she has some in stock. But like I said I think I said in a video, this plant won't collect the minerals and nutrients that I want this plant to collect. It won't store it in the leaves because it's in a pot, right? I mean, I'm just adding an extra, I have to put fertilizer in there, and if I'm going to use fertilizer, it defeats the whole purpose of having this free fertilizer plant. I have to have it in the ground to collect all the nutrients that we want, especially the minerals. Now you got to check this out. Look at all the blossoms on my Kishu mandarin, and there's tiny little fruits all over. So this one's going to fruit this year. That's encouraging to me. All the other citrus doing fine, looking healthy. We do have the leaf miners in our citrus every year. There's nothing you can do about that. It's unsightly, it looks ugly, but the trees can take it. This is my new lime tree. This is a key lime, and you can see we've got blossoms all over it. That's encouraging. Citrus seems to do well for me. Got another tomato over here. This is a lemon boy. Gonna have to get out here and do some pruning and weeding. There's a lot of weeds coming up down there. It's big enough where I could prune down at the bottom and just put some mulch in here. But yeah, that's a lot of weeds we got to get rid of. Elderberry survived the freeze and is coming back. The only problem with my elderberry is it doesn't fruit because I don't have a co-pollinator. I had one, it was out front, not far from here, but it died. So yeah, got an elderberry that's not producing. Yeah, that's not helpful. Leeks are doing well, growing nice and fat. My brother-in-law says that they're the perfect size. He's a classically trained chef, and he says the small leeks are the best leeks. Beans are coming up. We planted these beans in a video coming out next week, so you're getting to see the future. The bean planting video won't be out until the middle of next week. Look at that. I love beans. They'll find this trellis and grow up it, so you're getting kind of a preview. The purple cabbage heading up, but they're really tiny heads, but you know, we need to harvest this because I need this space. I need this space right here for peppers and tomatoes. Need to get the stirrup hoe and get them weeds out of there too. Onions still plugging along. None of them are bulking up. It's not time yet. They won't start bulking up until we reach 10 to 12 hours of sunlight a day. And we're not there yet. But I've got 4 different varieties of onions in there. Looking forward to that. Over here, we have our tomato seedlings that we started direct sown, and all those guys right there are Brandywine. And we've got some pear tomatoes there, and I'll show you in a future video, probably not this coming week, but next week. I'll show you how to separate those. They're starting to get their first set of true leaves. Got another tomato here, doing fine. We'll be doing some tomato pruning. I'll show you how to do that, and but I'm going to let these grow for another week before I attack them with the pruner. Got our wildflower mix coming up in here. Looks like a bunch of weeds, and some of them certainly are. These guys, I hate these guys. Yeah, that's a weed. A weed is any plant you don't want growing in your space. But these are all different kinds of pollinator attractors and bee attractors and beneficial insect attractors. Yeah, this tub's probably on its last year. You can see it's collecting trash from the guys who put this fence up. All right, over here, I had some broccolini that went to seed. I left it. It's just, you know, flowers, man. Brings in the bees. Some more leeks right here. Not doing as well because they were late starts, but not doing as well as the ones over there. A couple of cabbages that need to be harvested. We've got some heads forming on these, and we need to clear this bed and make room for some spring tomatoes and peppers. That's what I'm growing mostly this year. I love tomatoes and peppers. Got to get these weeds out of here. I've not stayed on top of the weeding this past week. Lucy the lemon tree got her trim, and she's growing again. So we'll have Meyer lemons again. Lucy 3.0. Showed you how to do that, how to take down a tree. And we finally got some coriander seed coming on our cilantro because we've got some flowers here, and that's why these are still here. See what we can get out of that. Probably not much. In the middle here, we've got another batch of wildflower seed that we sowed. They're starting to emerge, and these will be various kinds of flowers to attract good insects. Got some chives down here, and if you saw my sweet potato harvest video where we grew sweet potatoes in this soil last year, while I was digging them up, I said we will get volunteer sweet potatoes because you can almost never eradicate them, and that's what those are. Sweet potatoes. Here's another look into the future. There's a video scheduled for next week on how to prune your blackberries. You'll see that coming up. This is all going to be blackberries now. Look at this mess. This is a goji berry plant. It escaped its container and sent roots down in the ground and grew wild there, and that's fine with me. I'll make this little area my berry station. And goji berries, yeah, they were frozen back and still came back from the roots. Got some apples to look at. Little baby apples here. I'm gonna have to thin these when they get a little bit bigger. I'm gonna thin heavily on these. This is its first year to fruit. That one obviously will go. But yeah, this is my favorite apple tree. It's a beauty. Got some more apples over here. Lots of apples coming on in year 3 of these apple trees, which is kind of what we expected with these. And over here in the stone fruit section, we've got our peach tree waking up. Got a little baby peach over here. That's a tiny little thing, isn't it? Peach fuzz. But we got some more blossoms on. This is a young tree. If you saw my video it was alarming to a lot of folks how far back we cut this. It's just now woken up. It's just now starting to send out leaves and blossoms, and we'll get some more branching growth. Kind of the same story with this. This is a plum tree, and it's blossoming. We've got leaves popping. The plum tree, that was a significant chop down as well. We're gonna top this tree this summer. Summer pruning stunts growth, and we're just gonna come in here and we're gonna keep it about this tall. I don't want it any taller than that. Yeah, so the plum tree is a success story. Look at this beauty. This is my apricot tree. We put this in this year, and it was a bare root stock, bare root tree. Showed you how to do that, and it's one of the best shaped trees because if you look down, it's got star-shaped. It's got a star shape to the main scaffold branches. That worked out well. It had a blossom on it, but no sign of that blossom now. Nice leaves though. This is Tropic Gold. That's the cultivar, and it's supposed to do well in the heat. All right, time for the cauliflower to go. Let's harvest. It's almost too late, but you can eat cauliflower at any point. So I'm just going to take that right off of there. Durgesh number 41 cauliflower. It's a very good cauliflower. And yeah, we'll take this in and get it ready to eat. There we go. Not bad, huh? Gonna go ahead and take this plant out. Come on, Phoebe, move. Good dog. Good dog, move. Move, you don't want that. There's a tiny little cauliflower head down in here. A couple of them, actually. Yeah, it's time to get these out of here. Remnants of winter. Look at that little floret. Well, we'll take it. Take what we can get. And there's one hiding down here. Oh, that one's too far gone. Yeah, that one's starting to open up the flowers. You know, guys, ever since I got this new Rode mic, this remote mic, it's kind of been a game changer. Look at you, thief. That's not free. All right, you can have it. You want it? Here. Go eat it. Phoebe. She loves brassicas. There's another one. Look at that. We'll take that. Blew my shoulder out. There we go. All right. Cauliflower. You can't beat cauliflower. I like it. Yeah, I blew my shoulder out, so that was a tough little pool there. Now we have room. You hear how hard the top of my soil is? It's because I didn't mulch this year. And we have some pretty crispy soil on the top. But if you get down right below that, there's our lovely soil that we worked hard to build in this bed. I'm going to put some peppers over here. Time to get them in the garden. Just getting the soil fluffed up and the weeds knocked back here a bit. Yeah. I like these scuffle hoes, stirrup hoes. They go by different names, but I like them. I like how you can just get in and work your soil, get your weeds out, just chop them down, leave them on the surface to bake in the sun. All right, let's plant some peppers. Gonna plant some of these pepper starts. These turnips, I'll harvest them and I'll have another spot for a pepper. I like my peppers to be about 2 feet apart because they can get pretty good size, pretty big, and that's what we want. 2 feet apart. The further apart your plants are, the larger their root systems can grow without having to compete with their neighbor. They hold on to the moisture. Well, they can gather up moisture in the soil because they can spread their roots out. You don't have to water them as much if you plant them further apart. All right, so we'll have a pepper plant there. So I'll put another one right here. And I want it to be, I'm going to put the cayenne in a bucket. I want it to be the serrano pepper, and I've got an Anaheim pepper. So we'll plant these right here. Let me get my hole maker 10,000. Dig us a hole. See, that's some nice soil down there. But it could do with some amendment. Last year was not a good year for composting because my compost bin is itself composting. It's rotten down, not holding very well. So we didn't do a lot of composting. There's some good compost down in there. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to amend this hole with some IV Organics fertilizer. Let's do that. IV Organics All-Purpose 333 organic fertilizer. It's a great fertilizer. It's got all three of your macronutrients: nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus. I think it's the other way around, but it's got the other macronutrients as well: calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. It's got some iron in it. It's good stuff. So I'm going to amend this hole with just a little handful of this slow release stuff. You can get 10% off of your IV Organics order by using the code Gumbo10. I like Charles. I like his products. I am affiliated now. I get a little commission if you buy using my code Gumbo10, and it's a win-win because you're helping our channel, but you get 10% off. When you put the stuff in the soil down there, kind of mix it around. All right, we're going to drop our pepper in. That's going to be a little deep. Serrano. Make some pico de gallo with serrano peppers. And then just fill in around it. Easy as that to plant in your garden. Sure is a nice day out right now. It's nice and cool. I think we got a front blowing through, a weak front. But daylight savings time. Man, when are they going to stop that nonsense? It's we sprung forward last night, so we got a little more sunlight in the evenings, and in the evenings it's shady back here. There is a pest of some sort. Bye. There's our serrano. Put our label in. We'll water these in and call it good. Always water in your transplants. Help settle the soil around that root ball that we just put in there. I didn't tease apart the roots. You don't really have to. Sometimes it can be helpful. Well, take a look at that. That's my single seed challenge. That's version 2. I had to start over. My first seed didn't come up, but my second seed came up. That is a orange spice jalapeno. Tiny little guy. Most of my pepper seedlings are about this big because, well, it got cold here, and well, we don't really keep our house heated very much, and the heat mat, I have discovered, was just not enough to really keep my plants, warm where they liked it. So they're kind of stunted, those seedlings down there too. But hey, there it is, single seed challenge. One plant, one seed, followed it through its life. There's my update. Hey, thanks for joining me on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Thanks for hanging out in my garden with me today. I appreciate all of you. If you find our gardening channel interesting, useful, or helpful, or you just like to hang out in my backyard with me, please subscribe to our channel. And well, we'll talk to you next time. Happy gardening. Bye-bye.